and just a stunning golf course. It's Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, we're in for quite a day.
We are. We're going to see the decision-making processes of some of the fine players out there today. And the reason why I say that, Rich, is because there's so much elevation here at Wolf Creek. So you're going to have to make those adjustments on the downhill and the uphill. Club selection decisions. And, of course, the one that does that the best is more than likely the one that's going to come out on top.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Sneaking into contention here with that birdie.
Top 15 now on the leaderboard. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and two straight because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. And there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
-1 in the early going. All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard.
Headed for the bunker? That one is in the bunker. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
This putt for par. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here. It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. One over for the day. Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. Frank, what have you seen in the early going from our featured golfer?
A little bit of a struggle, unsurprisingly, really. Rich, just a little messy. This wasn't to be expected. Time to sort of tighten all the screws there, have a rethink, and try and put some red numbers on the board.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away.
Well, the 4th hole looks like it's going to claim another victim.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Losing a bit of ground now in this tournament. With the bogey, falls to 2 over. about this hole, Frank? Par 5 fifth.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it, because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream, but you can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you've got to see, you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Quite dialed in all the way on that shot, but still on the putting surface. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Birdie chance here on this very long putt.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
And getting ready for the putt. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So a tester from 4 feet. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg right, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. And yet again, he has hit it off the tee and into the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Good-looking shot right here. Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Shouldn't be a problem here. And has it, and now at 2 over par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Always some extra excitement when you get to the first major championship of the year, and here we are. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Partner, this is a big one.
It certainly is, Rich, and being the first major of the year, you know the players are going to be a little bit more nervous. Anticipations of a great year are going to start right here this week at Wolf Creek. And you're going to have to make all those adjustments out there. Is your game ready? Can you adjust for the changes of elevation? And do you have the confidence to go all the way and pick up the first major championship of the year? That's an absolute beauty.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Quick check of the leaderboard, and Frank, there he is, Rory Mcllroy. You still like his chances?
Well, you think the odds would favour the leaders right now. But Rory, we've seen him do it before. Will we see one more charge today? I'm not so sure. Oh, I liked that.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Not enough on that one.
He just seemed to baby it.
He's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
That is just a beautiful shot. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. Opportunity missed right there. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. This for bogey once again. Made bogey here yesterday. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Frank, he's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself it is an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
I like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy.
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, this is the kind of hole that you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one up there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and that wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot... well, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. There's nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left, you pay a very steep price.
Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
24 feet. There'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
And with that birdie, into the top 25 on the leaderboard. Third round coverage comes your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo and our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to bring you all of the action for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And Frank, what can the players expect from Wolf Creek?
Just a mesmerizing layout, Rich. You can see that from above. Straight driving is imperative out there today. You actually don't have to hit the ball a long way. The elevation on those tees is going to give you that extra distance on almost every shot. You can even take driver out of play on some of the holes. But really it's about being in the right position first on those tee shots that you're going to hit today. This is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, most golf courses have what they call a signature hole, the one that is really just jaw-dropping, that stands out. Wolf Creek has so many signature holes.
It has, and one that comes to mind, to your point, Rich, the second tee, for example, when you stand on that, that's actually 9 stories high, and you're hitting it over the rocky canyon just to try and reach a fairway. And as you said, there's just one of many, but it's phenomenal when you think you can just have holes like this in the middle of the desert and they're playable.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. A good effort, a good par putt. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Pretty good shot right there. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter, just play to that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front 9. Safely on deck.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Don't leave it short. Wow. Just a couple of feet. They'll take it. That's a par. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Frank, the beauty of golf, we're not playing inside a dome with no wind. You have to be able to handle the elements.
You do, and that's really where the better player comes through. On a day like today, anything around par is going to be a good score, so just adjust your own mental par.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that.
This is that awkward length.
Well, that wasn't a gimme, but it sure made it look easy. On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards, very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. I don't know that approach will make the highlight reel, but he still has a chance if he makes this putt.
Yeah, 21's when you come of age, don't they say? 21 feet away.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th, it measures 560 yards, a sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It is 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, at last, a birdie. Day 3, and what a tournament this is shaping up to be, Frank.
Quite simply, great weather, great golf, great fans, which is the perfect mix for a golfer trying to win a tournament. The final round, if this is anything to go by, has to just be sensational.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Beginning the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th hole.
Got to be careful here, Rich. That desert ridge on that right side, it sort of makes that fairway look smaller than exactly what it is. This fairway is about the same width as all the others, so just convince yourself that. Good drive down here is going to give you a second shot, a little bit uphill, and to a green that sort of slopes away on about a 45-degree angle.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Oh, I thought he had that. That is an excellent lag putt right there. Had the speed perfectly. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
In for par. Frank, the par 5 12th is another case of a hole where you see that Wolf Creek Golf Club can actually be kind of scary, daunting. I mean, you look out at the desert mountains, and then you add in some water, which we have here on the left, and you can go for some big numbers here if you're not careful.
Well, this is where the Wolf and the Creek can take a bite out of you. You hit it left off the tee, then you're certainly going to start to rack up a number. There's enough fairway down the right, but once again, if you hit a good drive and this hole is reachable for you, then you've got to worry about the water, which is to the right of this green. 5 wouldn't be the worst score you could make around here, that's for sure. I've seen 6s and 7s.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
And setting up here in the rough.
Even par currently.
Good solid par right there. Thirteenth hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees, but very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not quite what he was hoping for, the tee shot in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Trying to make yet another birdie. Frank, I thought that was in. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Locked in on the read and the speed. And that's in for a par. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
He's made it. From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th, Frank.
And when you stand on this tee, this hole looks anything other than straight. Goes to the left and comes back to the right. But if you can just fixate at the green in the distance, you're actually going to look like a relatively straight par 4. And that's the way the hole should be played. Look at those first 2 bunkers that you see and just try and split those. Good tee shot here and nothing more than a wedge left into this green. Simplify it. That's the key.
That was just a beautiful drive and hit it solid and right in the middle. Frank, you'd like to walk away with birdie here, given that it is a pretty short par 4. How do you get it done?
You're going to have something in sort of the short iron variety into this green. The green, the hardest part of it is all the undulations on this green. You realize why Wolf Creek has a slope rating of 154. So even with a short iron in hand, make sure you hit it in the precise section where that flag's located. Otherwise, you're going to have a hellacious putt across this green. Should be safely on deck.
Well, it's obvious he is in complete command of his golf ball right now. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Good effort and good par putt. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Frank just continuing to make the game look easy.
This just shortens the whole golf course up when you can hit it that far. Second shot.
How about that terrific approach shot setting up a makeable eagle putt? Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the turn. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Ooh, that hurts. How does that not go in? Shouldn't be a problem here. In the hole, and a birdie. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf, and it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.